Okay, before we start, I'm going to be really annoying. I just opened up a Pango bookshop. The name is going to be in the description. If you want books for cheap that are used, please check it out. I'm trying to declutter. But yes, I don't know how many of y'all know this, but I am a senior in college. This is my last semester. And one of the classes that I am taking this year is called Psychology of Emotions. And I'm doing a project specifically on whether or not labeling certain emotions as positive and certain emotions as negative has like a good effect or bad effect. Like if saying that anger is automatically a negative emotion, if that makes us more likely to suppress it, basically. Like how, anyways. I stumbled upon a lady named Teal Swan. My professor wanted us to do a discussion board, basically posting like little like YouTube videos and like infographics and podcasts that we found online talking about our project in a more like digestible way than a research paper or something. So she wanted us to post them, and I found a Teal Swan video, and I had never heard of her before, and I am so like infatuated with her. So I'm gonna talk about it. Um, After finding her, I did some some like YouTube, like digging around on YouTube looking for stuff. And eventually I found out that she had a podcast that was made by a journalist researching her, or investigating her is probably a better word. It's called The Gateway. It's from 2018. That really screamed cult. And then I found out that she had a show, a four-part docu-series from 2022 called The Deep End, and I watched that, and it just like solidified the cult thing for me. Yeah, I actually think that she is a narcissist. I'm being completely serious. I don't like to be like, oh, this person's a narcissist. Like, I'll usually be like, this person has narcissistic traits. I think that Teal Swan is a narcissist. With the way that she talks to people, I truly believe that she is. And it's so interesting for somebody to like preach like peace and like finding yourself and then like treat everybody around them like shit. I also think that she is wrong. She did a video about autism because I'm obsessed with the like new age cults. I love looking into like star seeds. I don't believe in them. And I understand that they have like some not good origins, but I do enjoy like it's like people watching for me. Like I just like wow, like I'm just so fascinated. Anyways, she did a video on autism and how autism like is left versus right brain, which I don't know how many people know this, but the left versus right thing, left versus right brain thing is bullshit. It's bullshit. I took a intro to cognitive neuroscience class, and the professor was like obsessed with disproving it. Like she would like she drilled it into our heads. She was like, there is not a left and a right brain. Like the brain doesn't split logical and creative. Like that's not how it works. It's just kind of like a melting pot with all different, you know what I mean? That's not how it works. So one thing about her that is just like wrong, like it's just incorrect. It's very easy to manipulate memory. Our brains are paying attention to so much. It's hard for us to focus on one thing. And memory usually needs one thing. Like what did they look like? What did it like it's very easy to manipulate our memories. Actually, children are more likely to be persuaded via like asking like leading questions, while adults are more likely to be persuaded via we basically create ideas that we have about the world. And a big one of like the biggest examples of this is implicit bias, which is about racism. Adults are much more likely to have their memories altered via implicit bias or via like some type of like preconceived like misconception that they have about the world. The reason that I brought up the kid thing is because if anybody knows what the McMartin preschool like incident was, the trial, if you will, the McMartin preschool trial, that is like one of the biggest examples of false memory implantation in children. And that like went to court, like people got arrested for that, like it was a whole thing. And I actually think that it was part of the satanic panic. Like I think that the McMartin case also had to do with people being like, oh, they're Satanists, because that's what Teal does, which was super big in the 80s and 90s. And the fact that she's like, she was born in 84, so she's Gen X. Okay, that makes sense. The fact that when she talks about her childhood, she talks about all these like satanic cults. I just think it's very interesting to say this happened at around the time of the satanic panic, just because I think it's just a little bit of a coinkydink. I also think that if you go to a Teal Swan workshop and you already kind of have a victim mentality, if we're going to keep it honest, if you have a victim mentality and you go into a Teal Swan workshop and you are asked to play out child you and your friends, coworkers, peers, I guess they would be peers, fellow workshop people, not coworkers, because you don't get paid, you pay a lot of money. They do this thing where they'll have the main person act out as their child, and they'll have somebody else in the group pretend to be the parents. And then the person who's pretending to be the parents will be like, I sense some underlying sexual abuse. And then the person will go and accuse their family members of sexual abuse. These are completely like baseless claims, by the way. These are somebody who has never met that person's parent just saying that. Anyways, they do it, it's called conjuring. They conjure up the person's energy to exist within their body. It leads these people to make false accusations towards their families. And then their families get mad, obviously. And it like creates even more, because if you look at like cult, like what they do, they want to separate you from your family and friends as much as possible. So doing this in return separates these people from their family because they think that their family assaulted them. And it's just like, they genuinely believe it too. I actually really like discussing memory and how it can change and evolve, and how like even the memories that we think we create a memory and over time we solidify it within our brains. So after a couple years, the memory is less what really happened and more so what we believed happened. And you're constantly like confirming that every time you think about the memory. And it just makes it more vivid. The brain is like, yes, this is correct. Because the brain doesn't know the difference between real and fake memories. Anyways, I digress. I just kind of thought that she was an eccentric internet person. And then I was listening to the podcast and I heard the statistics on suicide. That's not good. That's really not good. I don't think, for how large she is, for how much of an influence she has, for her to be able to say that suicide is a reset button, and that if you're not happy with your life, you should just do it. You have to either commit to living or commit to dying. I think if you find somebody who's in a really bad mental state and you tell them that, I don't think that that is any way ethical. Yeah, if you've never heard of this lady, like I had never heard of her a week ago, she's on YouTube and she has like almost 2 million subscribers. So people love her. Yeah. If you have any information about her, let me know. Cause she is like genuinely one of the most like self-centered people I've ever seen. And I don't understand like what happened. Like, did she let it go to her head? Like, I don't know. I don't know. She's just so interesting to me. And I joined Teal Tribe on Facebook. They let me in. So maybe I'll get some insight there. I don't know. She's so weird. That's all I have to say. She's also wrong. And she has zero qualifications. She's not a psychologist. She does not have a degree in anything. She doesn't have a certification in anything. She's just like talking, and people are like, fair enough. And then people kill themselves. Like, I feel like that's just wrong. Like, I don't know. But also, like, I believe in free speech. So it's hard. But also, like, freedom of speech doesn't exempt you of freedom of consequences. So that's also hard. I don't know. I thought she was really weird, and I wanted to talk about her because I like to talk about weird shit. Anyways, I hope you have a nice day, and goodbye.